Have you ever heard financial advice like just save your money and assume that that's the key to getting rich? Today, we're going to break down why saving alone won't make you wealthy. What happens when you only save? And more importantly, what actually creates lasting wealth based on research and real financial principles? 1. What saving actually does. Saving money means putting cash aside, usually in a bank account, to protect it and keep it available for future use. This is important for stability, emergencies, and short-term goals. But there's a subtle problem most people overlook. Saving doesn't make money grow appreciably. Accounting insights. Why? Typical savings accounts pay very low interest, often less than 1% per year. At the same time, inflation, the rise in prices of goods and services, runs around 2 to 4% annually in many economies. Jonathan Maharaj. This means your savings might increase in number, the nominal amount goes up a bit, but in real terms, adjusting for inflation, it often loses purchasing power. Accounting insights in simple terms. Money sitting there can slowly shrink in value over time. 2. The hidden cost of saving. Inflation and opportunity cost. There are two forces silently working against you. If inflation is 3% and your savings earn only 1%, your real growth is negative. Your money buys less tomorrow than it does today. Jonathan Maharaj. Opportunity cost. Every dollar you let sit idle is a dollar not invested. A dollar that isn't compounding, growing, or working for you. Medium. When you compare someone who simply saves versus someone who invests over decades, the difference is enormous. For example, investing the same amount could produce 2x or more wealth over long time horizons, if the returns average around 7 to 8% annually. No typical long-term stock market returns. Ascendant Global Credit Group. 3. Why savings alone can't build real wealth. Let's make this concrete. Saving equals storing money for safety. Investing equals putting money to work so it can grow. Medium. Even a big pile of savings doesn't give you passive income, returns that outpace inflation, assets that appreciate or generate recurring profit. In other words, savings alone don't multiply. They only preserve and often lose value. Jonathan Maharaj. 4. What actually makes people rich? So what does create wealth? Let's break it down. Invest in assets that grow. Assets like stocks and equity index funds, real estate, business ownership, dividend-paying investments. These can generate returns that outpace inflation and grow over time. Historically, diversified stock portfolios have returned around 8 to 10% per year on average over long periods, far above savings account rates. Medium. Let compound growth do the heavy lifting. Here's the magic. Compounding. Instead of earning 1% on your savings, investments can earn returns on your returns over decades, which leads to exponential growth. Ascendant Global Credit Group example. If $10,000 earns 1% in savings over 10 years, $11,000. If $10,000 earns 7% in investments over 10 years, $20,000. That's nearly double the growth. Ascendant Global Credit Group. Build multiple income streams. Wealthy individuals don't rely on one source of income. They create passive income, dividends, rent, business income, returns from investments, intellectual property, or digital products. This diversification pumps more money back into your financial ecosystem, accelerating growth. 5. The balanced approach. Save wisely, invest strategically. Saving isn't bad. It's just not enough on its own. Here's a practical roadmap. Emergency savings first. 3 to 6 months of essential expenses for safety. Medium. Invests regularly in diversified index funds, real estate, or other income-producing assets. Ascendant Global Credit Group. Reinvest returns. Let profits compound over time. Increase income. Grow your earning power through skills, business, or side ventures. This setup protects you and grows your wealth. Conclusion. Saving is a foundation, not the destination. It protects you, but doesn't multiply your money. True wealth comes from investing wisely, letting compound returns work over time, creating multiple income streams, staying consistent and patient. The difference between saving and investing is the difference between standing still and moving forward. If you want to go from financial security to financial wealth, you need more than just a savings account. You need a strategy that makes your money work for you.